I'm here camping with my family on the Washington coast, and I just had to make this quick little video for you. Why? Because as we were driving here, we're just driving down this what seems to be a vacant road, and there's just nothing but trees on both sides of us, and we come across this sign, and the sign says, "No vampires beyond this point." What's the deal with that? And what's even stranger is that people would pull over to the side of the road, get out of their cars, and have their picture taken with this sign. Why? Well, I'll tell you. It's because we're in La Push, Washington, which is right near Forks, Washington. These two places is where this woman by the name of Stephanie Myers wrote a book called Twilight, and her main characters, the whole story plays out in these two places. In fact, the main character of the story finds out about vampires walking this very beach in the book. So that's why people are here. But why did this book become such a huge success? Well, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why this book became a huge success and what these 3 reasons can do for your organization as far as you bringing new donors into your organization. Okay, so I'm going to go through this very quickly because after all, I am on vacation and the dinner bell is about to ring. So, okay, the number 1. The first thing I want you to do is think about your audience. Who is your audience? Are your audience women? Are they men? Are they young people? Are they old people? Are they engineers? Are they teachers? Who's your audience? If you can get really specific, you'll be able to tell a better story. For instance, with Stephanie Myers, when she wrote Twilight, her target audience, I believe, was teenage girls. Which brings us to the second point. The second point is, once you know who your audience is, I want you to think about what their needs, wants, and desires are. Because if you can tap into their needs, wants, and desires, you'll be able to engage them on a deeper level. You'll be able to talk to them in a way that they can really hear you because they want the information that you're giving out to them. They want to hear the story you're about to tell them. In the case of the Twilight book series, what the teenage girls really want, how Stephanie Myers was able to connect with her audience, was teenage girls love love, right? They want to feel love, that true love. And so Stephanie Myers really tapped into that need and that want and that desire of her target audience. So I want you to think about what the needs, wants, and desires of your target audience are, and then craft your story around those needs, wants, and desires. Okay, number 3, don't be boring. This is the 3rd tip. I don't want you to be boring. If you feel like you're telling the same boring story again and again and again, stop. Find something new. Find a different way to tell the same story. In the case of Twilight, what she did, look, there are tons of teenage romance novels, right? Well, I haven't personally read any, but I would imagine that there are just tons of these things. So what made Twilight different? Well, she introduced a vampire, and the vampire loving a regular mortal girl. So that's kind of interesting. And then she introduces the werewolf. So there's this kind of love triangle. Come on, it's got so much more interesting now that she added those 2 things. But she didn't concentrate just on the vampire or concentrate just on the werewolf. It was really about the love. So those are 3 things I want you to do, but I have a 4th one here for you too. And that is, when Stephanie Myers was writing this book, she modeled her story after another story, a very famous story. In fact, one of the most famous stories ever. And it was Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. So when you're looking at crafting a story, think about the other stories around you that you've heard or you've seen that have worked really, really well. And then kind of steal pieces from that or model your story around those really successful stories. But of course, adding your own spin to it. So you're not really stealing that story, but adding your own spin, your own flavor to it. And you'll be able to attract more people to your organization. If you follow these 4 tips, your stories will become stronger and much more engaging for folks. And if you want to really get into storytelling, really craft compelling stories that really attract people to your organization, then I highly suggest that you come with a whole bunch of other folks to the Nonprofit Storytelling Conference because we are putting on a shindig for you. It's going to be great. It's November 6th and 7th. You can click somewhere on this page to come and register. I highly suggest it. And now, I think I heard this dinner bell, so I'm going to just end this video here and go eat. Bye.